What's up guys, Ninth Jim here, back with another VGC 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive video. Today, we're talking about Grapploct. This Pokemon is pretty cool. Honestly, it's one of my favorite design-wise from the newest generation. Just a wrestling little octopus man. It's just really cool, and I think it's really cool. And it's pretty promising in VGC and singles. Honestly, it has some really cool attacks. It has Topsy-Turvy, which before now was locked into only Malamar, and I think Inkay got it. Maybe it was like Malamar. Maybe it was like Evolve. I think you got it when you evolved because you had to like turn your DS upside down or something. It was weird. But yeah, so that's pretty cool that we get that exclusive move. And then we also have a signature move called Octo Lock that locks the target in, like essentially like a mean look, and then lowers its special defense and defense every single turn. This can be really powerful. In singles, it can be really powerful locking in that Pokemon, and then essentially just making it useless as far as special defense and defense go. Making it just so you can attack it over and over and over again with Power-Up Punch or just attacks in general, and it's pretty cool. It also has like Soak, Taunt, like it has a lot of good support moves, as well as having a really good attack stat and things like Close Combat, Drain Punch, a pretty deep move pool. Not really deep, but a couple of other good coverage moves. So yeah, pretty solid Pokemon. Let's go ahead and get into it. So mono fighting type, even though it looks like it should be fighting water, it should definitely be fighting water type, but it's just regular fighting type. Oh well, even though when you see it in the game, when you first encounter it in the game, it's swimming around. Like, okay, Game Freak, but whatever. You know, it's fine. Fighting type. So we have 3 resistances, Bug, Rock, and Dark. All 3 are pretty good. Rock, Dark being really prevalent in the meta. Bug being a little less so, but still, like, there. Weaknesses, Flying, Psychic, Fairy. Honestly, we're not too bulky, but we're pretty average in bulk. So these, like, some of the, like, super effective attacks, like Max moves, will definitely knock you out, like, OHKO you. But resisted attacks and, like, regular attacks, you can live a couple. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, into the stats, let's go ahead and talk about it. So HP 80, defense 90, and special defense 80, all around very average, like very average bulk. You can Dynamax this Pokemon. It's definitely a fine Dynamax contender on your team, and in general, it's just not that bulky. But when you Dynamax and if you invest in the HP or anything, which we do in our build, it's not that bad. So as far as attack 118, like all right, Grapploct, you're not doing bad. You're doing solid damage. 118, you're hitting pretty heavy close combats, liquidations, ice punches, and so on. Sucker Punch, it gets a lot of really good moves, and 118 is pretty solid right off the bat. Then 70 is special attack, we don't really care about it. And then 42 speed, this screams bad, but also screams Trick Room. You can use this Pokemon with Trick Room, however, a couple of good Trick Room sweepers, Howtarine, Torkoal, Ferrothorn, Rhyperior, Gastron, all these Pokemon will underspeed you, so Trick Room, you know, they'll be better in Trick Room than Grapploct, but it can still do some really good work in general, which is cool. Anyway, that's going to be about it for our overview. We'll go ahead and talk about the build now, about 3 minutes in. So, yeah, so as far as the build goes, it's pretty basic, like stats and stuff, but the moves are pretty interesting. We're going with ability Limber, so it actually has two abilities, Limber and Technician. Technician is really powerful, but you don't really have a lot of good moves to use. Really just Power-Up Punch, and Power-Up Punch is not really strong in the VGC because you'll only get off 1 or 2 of those, and then your guy's going to probably die. So maybe in singles, in our singles build, we actually are featuring Power-Up Punch, Technician, but in our VGC build, we're just using Limber just to stop things like Priority Thunderwave from Grimmsnarl and Pokemon like that, and Nuzzle from Raichu and Togedemaru and Pokemon in general. Just like Paralyze sucks. Like, don't get me wrong, getting Paralyzed sucks. So Limber's alright for that. Then our item, we have Cobra Berry. There's a couple of options that you can go with. I went with Cobra Berry because it's like not bad bulk. So going Focus Sash just didn't feel right, investing all into HP. So we went with Cobra Berry. You can definitely go with Focus Sash as well. You could also go with Iapapa Berry or Guava Berry, any of the pinch berries, or Citrus Berry. Just for a little bit of heal, but we just went for Cobra Berry to stop those big max airstreams and air slashes from Togekiss being the most used Pokemon, and a couple of other Pokemon being very, very high on the usage charts. Max airstream is really powerful, and we can live a lot of those. We can live 1 the first time with Cobra Berry, which is really good. And then you could also use Life Orb for damage. However, like I said, I just want to be able to live that first attack. Octo Lock something, Topsy-Turvy something, and you can go pretty good with that. You know what I mean? So, into our moves, we have Octo Lock and Topsy-Turvy, Close Combat and Protect. This doesn't have to, this is not the exact set that everybody will play. You can definitely, there's a lot of good flex moves right above me that you can use instead of that, which are pretty cool. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this set. So Octo Lock and Topsy-Turvy are both pretty cool. So Octo Lock goes ahead and sets something. Like I said, it traps them in, and then it also lowers their special defense and regular defense one stage every turn. This is pretty good. Like, this is pretty solid. It makes things weak. You can deal damage, you can close combat them, you can have your partner Pokemon do a lot of damage, and it's pretty cool. Locking something in and then just taking it out is pretty sweet. So yeah, Octolock is pretty cool. Next, we have Topsy-Turvy. This move is really interesting. It switches the stat boost of any Pokemon. So you activate your opponent's weakness policy, boom, you Topsy-Turvy it. Now it's weak. Now it does no damage. Its attack is effectively halved. This is pretty good. Things like Snarl on your Pokemon or your opposing Pokemon. Although you're not going to be wanting to Topsy-Turvy your opposing Pokemon if you Snarled them. That just wouldn't make sense. But say you have Grapploct and then a Pokemon like Duraludon on your as your partner. You go ahead and go for a Draco Meteor. Lower your special attack by 2. Boom, Topsy-Turvy it. Now you're looking good. Now your boy is just killing it. He's +2 special attack. He's just like that. He's weakness policy. And after that turn with Topsy-Turvy, this could be really nuts, actually. This is like really cool. Topsy-Turvy works with a lot of things. Your opponent intimidates you. You make your partner Pokemon insanely strong. You swagger something. You Topsy-Turvy it. Boom. Now it's weak. It does a lot of really cool things, and Topsy-Turvy is a really interesting attack and can definitely see really powerful plays. And yeah, so I put that on there. Anyway, then we have Close Combat. This is just our most powerful stab move. You can definitely switch this out with Drain Punch if you want that heal a little bit more. I like Close Combat just doing as much damage as possible. I really wish you could Topsy-Turvy yourself. You can't Topsy-Turvy yourself. If you could, that'd be like really cool. You could just Close Combat something and then be like Topsy-Turvy. Now I'm really buff. It could be really cool, but you can't do that. But with your partner Pokemon, you know, if you use something like Lucario in Close Combat and then you Topsy-Turvy it, then it's bulky, which is cool. Some cool things that you can do. So then we also have Protect. I just valued Protect on this Pokemon. It's not going to be Dynamaxing too frequently, so it's like Protect is good. Although I do only mediocre, like only having one attack and it being Close Combat is like kind of mediocre, you know, but it's better than like it being Superpower or something. Close Combat is better than Superpower in my opinion, typically, but I don't know, not always, maybe. So like I said, it has a lot of other good flex moves. So we have Soak, Taunt, Bulk Up. All three are really powerful support moves. More so the first two are support. Bulk Up really just makes him big. But so we have Soak, which is really cool. You can go ahead and Soak, change something to water type. This can be really powerful. You can turn off stab moves. You can turn off certain moves. Right? Soak doesn't add it. Yeah, it changes the target's type to water. This is really cool in singles, in our single spotlight build. We'll talk about that more when we get to that build. But for now, Soak is pretty cool. I'll just leave it at that. Taunt is pretty good. I mean, it just like it can deny Trick Room. You don't really want to deny Trick Room. You can deny your opponent resetting Trick Room, which can be cool. Probably not going to use it too frequently, but it's good. It's a notable mention. Then we have Bulk Up, just getting bulkier with HP or attack and defense. Pretty solid. I like Bulk Up. Then we have Drain Punch, another option instead of Close Combat if you want. And then we have Ice Punch, Liquidation, and Sucker Punch. The first two are for coverage moves, and then Sucker Punch is a little bit more utility. Good against things like Dragapult. Really good against things like Dragapult. Dusclops, but probably not because it's probably like that's only if it goes for Nightshade. So yeah, Sucker Punch is good. It's definitely a good option. Didn't land on my final set for today, but it's a good option. Into our investments, it's pretty basic, just 252 into HP and 252 into attack, and then Brave Nature, giving it plus attack minus speed, since we want to be as slow as possible, since we're focusing this around Trick Room. We have 0 IVs for speed, just to make it as slow as possible, landing us at 42, which is not bad. We have speed tiers here in just a few moments that we'll go over, but for now, just HP and attack, just being as bulky and physical damaging as possible. Into our synergetic Pokemon, we have Dusclops and Hatterene. Just a couple of good Trick Room setters. You don't have to use both on the same team. In fact, you probably shouldn't use both on the same team. Although multiple Trick Room setters is not too bad for a very hard Trick Room team, but you don't have to. And then we have Hatterene and Rhyperior there. signifying that Grapploct doesn't have to Dynamax to be good. Both of the other ones, well, Hatterene doesn't have to Dynamax to be good, but Rhyperior 9 out of 10 times will be the Dynamax candidate for your game if you bring it, and Grapploct doesn't need to Dynamax, so they can be really strong partners together, which is really cool. And you can also, if your opponent like charms it or something, you can just topsy-turvy, which is cool. Probably not going to happen too frequently, but a cool option. Other than that, that's going to be about it for our build. We'll go ahead and talk about some speed tiers. So as far as speed tiers go, we are here at 42, 4 from the top, which is not bad. 42 is not bad at all. Under speeding us, we have Rhyperior, Gastrodon, Bronzong, Reuniclus, Hatterene, Dusclops, Torkoal, Ferrothorn. That's about all of the relevant meta Pokemon that are going to be under speeding us because we're really close to the bottom. All of them are pretty good. You have to worry about a couple of them. You know, not too many. Actually, not really worry about too many of them. Hatterene is a bit of a worry. Torkoal just deals a lot of damage. Dusclops can be annoying. It can burn you. But other than that, everything, Reuniclus actually is pretty annoying, but it's very low tier, or not low tier, very underused. So all of these Pokemon, they're not too big of a worry. You know, Rhyperior, we don't care that much about it. You know, it'll get strong if we proc its weakness policy, but if you just play carefully around it and kind of just ignore it, it just doesn't do that much damage, especially if you can like burn it and then just like not worry about it. It's just not there. You don't really care about it. Then for over speeding us, we have Conkeldurr, Snorlax, typical Conkeldurr, and Supersized Gourgeist. Supersized Gourgeist you won't see very frequently, but it did kind of destroy that one tournament. Was it Malmo Regional a few months ago actually at this point, like coronavirus kind of shut that down. But Supersized Gourgeist is still something you may see. Probably won't see it very frequently though. Snorlax, uninvested. If Snorlax's min speed is going to be outspeeding us, but I mean, like, most of the time, it'll be here at this 50 speed or a little bit invested. So yeah, Snorlax is usually going to be outspeeding us. And then Conkeldurr is usually going to be outspeeding us as well. It's going to be uninvested. It'll actually always be outspeeding us because even at min speed, it is outspeeding us. So yeah, but it's not too much of a worry. Like, we don't have to worry about that Pokemon too much. Anyway, that's going to be it for our speed tiers. We'll go ahead and talk about some damage calcs. So let me shrink so that you can see them all. So our damage calcs are kind of weird. So first off, we have Intimidated from an Incineroar. Close combat into said Incineroar. Hitting 76 to 90%. Guaranteed 2-hit KO. We cannot OHKO a Incineroar even if it is not defensive, like physically defensive, if it intimidates us. If it is already out and then we bring it out before the Intimidate is activated, then we can OHKO it with close combat, but that requires a good bit of things to happen. And so yeah, if it brings it out, or if they lead and you lead Grapploct, you're not going to be able to OHKO. Next we have the most problematic Pokemon. It's Flying Fairy. No brainer that it's the most problematic Pokemon. Togekiss. Max Starfall into our Grapploct with minimal special attack investment does have a guaranteed OHKO, 109 to 129%. However, typically, you don't see Cobra Berry on this Pokemon. A lot of the time, you're not going to see Cobra Berry on this Pokemon, so they're going to go Max Airstream a lot of the time. They'll go ahead and hit you with a Max Airstream, and you'll live it because of the Cobra Berry, 67 to 79%. Guaranteed 2-hit KO, even if it's max special attack invested. This is really important that we can live this Max Airstream. It's probably going to be the attack it goes in with. And then, unfortunately though, then it will definitely outspeed you. I mean, it already outspeeds us because it's like very fast compared to Grapploct. But if we set Trick Room and then do that, then we could start attacking it really easily and be in a pretty okay position against Togekiss. It's our worst matchup. Don't be mad if you lose to it, because it just happens. Next, we have our Grapploct Close Combat into an Excadrill. Is there music? Yeah, there is. Okay. Close Combat into an Excadrill, hitting 85 to 100%. A very small chance, 6.3% chance to OHKO in its Dynamax form. We're probably not going to be OHKOing, like, who gets a 6.3% chance? Come on. But you might. But it'll probably be Focus Sash. Very typically, Excadrill are ran with Focus Sash, so you're probably not going to be able to OHKO it anyway. But hitting Close Combat into that does a lot of damage and is pretty cool. Guaranteed OHKOs if it doesn't Dynamax, obviously. But yeah, it's good. So next we have Grapploct Sucker Punch into Dragapult, hitting 63 to 75%. Guaranteed 2-hit KO. This is the non-Dynamaxed Dragapult. You don't want to hit it into its Dynamax. If it's Dynamax, it's very likely to be Weakness Policy, unless you already saw it take a tick of damage from Life Orb. But yeah, Sucker Punch does a good bit of damage. It didn't land on our final set, but it's definitely an option, a good option if you want to use it on this team or Grapploct on your team. So yeah, Sucker Punch does a good bit of damage to things like Dragapult. Next we have, this is really unfortunate, and actually, I forgot to put the Cobra Berry there, but this is into a Cobra Berry boy, into our Cobra Berry boy, and this is really unfortunate. Life Orb, Dynamax Charizard Max Airstream with Solar Power active, meaning it's in the sun. It does OHKO, guaranteed OHKO through Cobra Berry. Be scared of Charizard. Solar Power Charizard does so much damage. I hate him. I hate him so much. Anyway, that's about it for our damage calcs. We'll go ahead and talk about Single Spotlight real quick, and then I'll get out of your hair. So, Grapploct, Single Spotlight. What we're doing here is we're octo-locking things into place. We're hitting them with Power Punch. We're hitting them with Soak if they're Pokemon like Toxapex or things that will not take much damage or deal super effective damage to us. We can even soak things like Clefable. This is really cool. We can soak Clefable and then it doesn't kill us with Moonblast. That's awesome. So, Ability Technician. We do more damage with Power Up Punch. Leftovers. We heal a little. Power Up Punch. You Power Up Punch them, you Octo-Lock a guy in, and then every single turn, they lose Special Defense and Defense. And then you attack with Power Up Punch. Every single turn, you go +1 in attack, they go -1 in defense. Every single turn, you are doing more damage, they're doing less damage. They're locked in because of Octo-Lock. You can soak them if they're a problematic Pokemon, and you can rest if you take too much damage. This is awesome. This is actually like a really cool Single Spotlight build. I really like it. I like it a lot. I think it's cool. Anyway, into our investments, we have HP 252 and Special Defense 252, just being as bulky as possible against special defensive Pokemon or special attacking Pokemon. Things like, Clefable can pose a problem. However, we can soak them. Pretty cool. So yeah, Octo-Lock Power Up Punch is pretty neat. But it's not like insanely high tier and overused, but it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. So if you like this guy, Octo-Locto, if you like the Grapploct, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and like and subscribing means a lot to me. If you don't, no hard feelings. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good next 2 weeks, and stay safe. Goodbye.